Hello everyone, welcome. My dear friends, my dear gods, and my dear masters of India, USA, and across the world. We welcome you all for the Day 2 program. My name is Divya Nadimpalli. I'm joining you from US today. And some of you are joining for the first time for today's session. And for those people who are joining this program for the first day, I'm going to go to the structure of this program. This program the name is called Breath Awake. It's for 21 days throughout, including the weekends. The same time we meet at 6 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. IST and 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. CST for the US people. So for today's program, the structure is going to be, we're going to have meditation, followed by wisdom sharing by the enlightened master, and then experience sharing, and then Q&A, and we're going to end the call. This is structure. And throughout today's call, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat box. We will answer them after the wisdom sharing. So with this, I give control to Shibu, who is going to lead us into meditation. Welcome, Shibu.
Thank you, Divya. Good morning, good evening to everyone. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Sagar, sir. All right, so Divya, I'm also going to express my gratitude to internet. And you expressed that yesterday, and I did not. So where that landed me, right? So thanks to internet. And I'm not going to take anything for granted, including breath, right? There's so many things which we take for granted, like the internet, like the breath, which is ubiquitous, which is everywhere. But let's not take anything for granted. These are blessings, and let's be grateful for everything. Let's do a quick recap, my dear friends. Yesterday, we did the science of meditation. We looked at the posture. We looked at how easy it is, right? The focus is on the relaxation and the stability and the comfort. No hard rules there. Just be as comfortable as possible. We also looked at some of the myths. One of them being meditation is very, very hard. So yesterday, due to the technical glitches, we actually started with the meditation and went through the PPT afterwards. You saw how easy it is, right? Meditation is very, very easy. Breath is natural. And we looked at the kind of type of meditation which we use here. It is breath mindfulness called Anapanasati. And today, we're going to go deeper into that. The full session is for that. So very exciting day, my dear friends. And again, we have been answering a lot of questions through Telegram. Thank you so much, Sunil, for taking time and answering the questions. And thank you, dear friends, for posting those questions. Very engaging questions, very good. This is how we keep the interaction going, right? Post your questions. Some of this we'll take it here. You can ask it directly. If not, we can answer in the Telegram group as well. I want to just take one of those questions, which I feel is relevant prior to getting into meditation. It's regarding, one of the questions was regarding trying to control the thoughts. And it said the mind is like a roller coaster. I think that's a very relevant and pertinent question. First of all, congrats, because you're aware that you're with the thoughts. That's usually not the case, right? Because we are always with the thoughts and we're not even aware that we are with the thoughts. The second, but the one thing which I want to mention before getting into meditation is, let's not try to control or fight with the thoughts. That is still engaging. The point here is the disengaging. Let's disengage with that. And instead, let's be with the breath. Let's come back. The moment you realize that you're with the thoughts, the key here, the key aspect is simply come back to the breath. This is how we start the journey from a thinker to an observer. Let's be that. Let's be the observers. Come back to the breath. And again, my dear friends, before we start the meditation, I want to start with small pearl of wisdom, the gem of wisdom given by Patriji. Again, very useful in this context of meditation, no hurry, right? There is nothing, there is no, drop all the expectations. There is nothing to be achieved right now in this moment. There's no tasks waiting for you. Just drop all the worries. Just drop the hurry. There is nothing to achieve. There is no train leaving in 5 minutes, right? Just let's drop all of that. Let's be cool and not be in a hurry. No worries. Let's just be peaceful. And the most important thing, don't waste time. This breath, the one breath which we have now, is never going to come back. Let's give our total attention with the breath. It is a new breath, new opportunity, new life. Breath is our guru. Let's be with the breath. With this, my dear friends, let's start the meditation for today. I see many folks are on the video. Really appreciate that. It is so good to see the faces. You know the procedure, but for all of you who are joining in for the first time, let me repeat it. Be comfortable. Sit comfortably. Some of you are sitting on the floor. Some of you are on the chair. Clasp your hands like this. Clasp your hands. Close your legs. You're sitting on the floor, that is. Cross your feet. Cross your legs if you're on the floor, and cross your feet if you're on a chair, like multiple people are sitting on the chair. And most importantly, close your eyes. You wouldn't need your specs, so that goes without saying. You can always remove your specs. Feel free to take a couple of deep breaths. The most important thing, as we discussed yesterday, is relaxation. Let's start by relaxing your body. Let's be absolutely comfortable. Yeah, so allow yourself time to settle down. I know many of you are joining in. Take time to settle in. Let's put an intent to completely relax our body and mind. As I was mentioning earlier, drop all the mental burdens. There is nothing which we need to do right now. Everything can wait. This is our time. This is the me time. Stop all the expectations, including any you might have from this meditation. Scan through your body, right from the top of your head to the feet. See if there is any tension anywhere. Feel free to move, adjust, readjust. See if you're holding on to something. Shoulders, see the shoulders. Scan. This is perfectly relaxed. The forehead, eyebrows, hands, feet. Allow your body time to relax. Relax more and more. Be very, very comfortable. Be totally at ease. Now, slowly bring your awareness to your normal, natural breath. Let's not try to manipulate or control. Just be a witness pure witness of our normal, natural breath. Can you feel the sensations of the breath? Nostrils, be with those sensations. In breath, out breath. Just be with the breath. Just be with the normal, natural breath. Thoughts may arise. Just simply don't engage. Come back to the breath. Let's totally be in the present moment. Let's not try to manipulate our breath. Be with the normal, natural breath. Each breath is unique, my dear friends. Let's be totally without breath. No visualizations. Just be with the breath. Enjoy the state of being. breath is our guru, our best friend. Just enjoy this company. Be with your normal, natural breath. Continue being with your breath, dear friends. A normal, natural, easy flow of breath. Last 10 minutes. Be with your normal, natural breath, dear friends. Last 3 minutes. With a feeling of gratitude, slowly come back to your friends. Slowly unclasp your hands. Place your fingers on your eyes. 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes with a big, big smile. Thank you all. Over to you, Divya.
Thank you so much, Shibu. Wonderful, wonderful meditation. As you guys are settling in after meditation, before we move on to the next portion of the meeting today, I would like to share 3 tips that's going to be helpful for you all to get the best out of this program. The first thing is to be here, be in the present. I know we all love to do multitasking, and this is not the time to do that. The second tip is not to procrastinate. I know you all know that these sessions are available for review on the YouTube channels. And when we procrastinate, when we postpone this, when you're not here and we think, oh, okay, I can do this later on, the later day and the time would never come. And the benefits that you're going to achieve through this program are not going to come as well too. The third thing is the mind always play so many tricks, giving us so many reasons why not to be here, why not to take this meditation seriously. Please don't fall in the mind play, and we would like you all to be here to the entire 21 days. I think this tip will be helpful to you guys. With this, I'm going to move to the next portion of the meeting, our wisdom session. I'm going to invite our speaker today, Dr. Sai Krupa Sagar sir. Dr.
Hello,
Sai Krupa.
Divya.
Hello,
Oh,
sir. Welcome. I'm going to introduce you with a brief introduction, sir, if that is okay with you.
all right, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you, sir. So Dr. Sai Krupa Sagar is an avid meditator, mind explorer, and a technological business leader. From the past 15 years, with regular and consistent practice of meditation, he experienced and realized many benefits of meditation. He's a trained coach and a public speaker. Currently, he shares his knowledge and experience through teaching, speaking, and writing different concepts related to meditation and spiritual science. He has been conducting multiple sessions on breath meditation, also known as Anapanasati meditation, mindfulness, and yogic science from past 4 years on various platforms, both in person and virtual in both London and Bangalore. Currently, he is serving as a managing trustee of Pyramid Valley International and is also a founder of Coherent Project with a mission of promoting emotional well-being with science-based, evidence-based tools and techniques for body and the mind. He drives several projects. To name few, Anna Pansati Foundation course, Stillness Retreat at Pyramid Valley, Mind to Matter courses, Breath by Breath workshop. Last but not the least, he is a driving force behind this online program, Breath Awake. With this, I would like to all join your hands and welcome Dr. Sai Kripasagar. Thank you so much, sir. It's a privilege to have you here today.
Thank you, Divya. And good morning, masters. Good evening, masters. And it's wonderful to be part of this program conducted by a very fantastic team. I know a lot of orchestration has happened to get this program going with the finesse that is very true of Pyramid Spiritual Society's moment. So thanks for the opportunity. So how much time do I have to talk about breath? Is it 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
20 minutes, sir. I know it's
20
very
minutes?
hard to consign everything together about breath, but for today, we have 20 minutes.
Okay, good. All right, friends. So I know yesterday Shibu did talk about a story of being awake. So we will see what breath awake means. And I want to talk a bit about breath. As Divya was mentioning, I've been researching a lot on breath, reading a lot of books on breath, reading a lot of books on mindfulness, and conducting hundreds of sessions, both online and in Pyramid Valley. And every time we conduct a session, there are a lot of questions that comes up, right? I mean, so things about mind wandering, things about different kinds of feelings, things about how do I get my meditation right. So as we do this, we explore a lot of techniques, we apply a lot of techniques, and see what works and what doesn't work, right? So based on all that experience, based on both theoretical experience and practical experience, and then some of the things I myself have tried and found things going smooth. So with that, I'm going to talk about three things: the physical aspects of breath. Let me just share. The physical or physiological aspects of breath, the mindfulness aspect of breath, which is what we are right now focusing on, and the spiritual scientific aspects of breath. And that's what we mean by art and science of breath. So the first few slides talk about the physical aspects of breath, nothing specific to meditation, the meditation posture, but definitely will help in the meditation posture. So number one, all of us know from our biology classes, right? What happens when we breathe? So when we breathe, we take in air, take in oxygen, and the air travels to our lungs, and there is an exchange of gases in the lungs. The blood exchanges oxygen and carbon dioxide, right? And the cells, the
Hello, sir.
I
Are
guess
you
you got
back?
disconnected, right?
Yeah, you just left for a minute and you came back. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So I don't know the issues of.
The
Okay.
internet, sir.
Yeah, it shows fine. Okay, let me quickly share the screen. Okay.
Sure, sir.
All right, sorry about that. So I was just explaining the process, what happens, physiological process of breathing. All of us know from our biology class, as we take in breath, we supply oxygen to the lungs, and then from there, the oxygenation happens to each of our organs, and this process of exchanging oxygen and carbon dioxide happens. The right breathing allows more oxygen to go, allows every organ to nourish itself. Incorrect ways of breathing allows less limited oxygen, and that is what causes a disease. That is the point that I want you to think about. So what is right breathing? What is correct breathing? What is incorrect breathing? So first is posture, and this is again very true for meditation as well. The ideal posture, anytime that we sit, anytime we stand, is about the body is built to support a very erect posture. So even when we meditate, the ideal posture is when you sit with your back, neck, and head straight. I'm saying that is ideal. So though in Anapanasati meditation, we don't profess that because a lot of people are not able to do it, but over time they'll be able to do it. But there are two key reasons why you should start focusing on that ideal posture. Number one, it allows you to sit in meditation for a long time, right? Because the body is built, your pelvis and your hips support the structure, the spinal cord and your structure on top of it, and then your neck is supposed to rest directly on the spinal cord, neck, and head. Right? That is the natural posture of the body. The body is built to be straight. And as we start sitting in that posture, you'll be able to sit for a long time. The second thing, for all of us who have been battling mind wandering, there is scientific evidence that people, when you sit straight and meditate, when your posture is straight and meditate, you will be bothered less by thoughts. That is because the brain spends energy in maintaining your posture rather than giving energy to your emotional brain to bring in all the thoughts. So that's more a motivation for most of us. And I've been trying this sitting straight posture for the last 6 months, and it's been working amazingly well. You can start step by step, get a pillow to support you in case you're not able to do it. But nevertheless, this is not a must. This is an ideal. This will help you improve your meditation as well as your breathing. So when we are straight, what happens is the entire lungs get, instead of slouching, so when you are straight, your entire lungs get the right oxygen. So it is helpful physically as well to your health. The second aspect I've noticed in the hundreds of people who come in to meditate and whom I see is the wrong way of breathing. All of you may have heard about belly breathing or abdominal breathing. So that is the right way of breathing. As you breathe in, your lungs expand, it pushes the diaphragm down, and your stomach should come out. Right? The incorrect way of breathing is what some of our youngsters practice, right? When you do the chest breathing. So chest breathing, when you breathe in, the chest shouldn't come up. When you breathe in, your stomach should come up. So that means the chest is getting full, your lungs are getting full of oxygen, full of air, and then it's pushing in. And then you exhale, similarly, your stomach comes in, not voluntarily. You don't pull in your stomach voluntarily, but because of your lungs contract, because your diaphragm contracts, your tummy comes inside. So you can be conscious of these movements next time when you start observing your breath. And this is all to do with conscious breathing, we're not even getting into the meditation aspects. And there are several aspects, there are several health issues that are possible just because you don't breathe right. But before that, what is optimal breathing? Obviously, nasal breathing, again, mouth breathing has always its side effects, ill effects, right? We always need to do nasal breathing. I know a lot of us practice or inadvertently practice mouth breathing, which is not good for health. And again, it should be deep and long breathing, not big breathing. Big breathing is just, so it's not about shallow breathing, it's long, relaxed breathing. Your breath should be in a particular rhythm, quiet and small, relaxed, with an erect posture. When you are erect, When you are in the straight posture, your diaphragm performs most of the activity. So none of the other muscles get strained, right? And your lower part of the chest expands correctly. So when we do incorrect breathing, there are different reasons why we do incorrect breathing. First thing, we do not know the right way of breathing. Second is when we get entangled in emotions. We don't know. We just release that. We suddenly breathe with chest breathing or different kind of muscles. So ineffective breathing results in imbalance of oxygen, energy deficiency. Your nervous system gets out of balance. Your heart needs to work harder because you're not breathing right? And then mouth breathing has an effect of influence on your teeth and face. So quite a lot of books that talk about this. And just because you are not breathing right, even that adds to your stress, physical stress. So a lot of us have shoulder pains, a lot of us have back pain, just because your breathing is not right, because you are stressful. And anytime you go to a doctor with a shoulder pain, neck pain, or a back pain, the doctor says it's because of stress. Because of stress, why? Because of stress, it impacts your breathing, and your breathing physically impacts the different muscles. You're using the muscles that are not built for breathing. And that is why you feel those pains, right? So with that, those are just the very minimal, simple aspects of the physical aspects of breathing, the physiological aspects of breathing. Next, let's get into the art of breathing. So art of breathing is more about mindfulness. Art varies for different people. The science is always the same for everyone, right? So Brahmarshi Patriji popularized this aspect of Anapanasati, which is mindfulness of in and out breathing, originally found by Gautam Buddha. So we talk about mindfulness. What is mindfulness? Anytime you are mindful of all the things that are happening in that particular moment. So when we breathe, there are a lot of things that happen. So there are a lot of things that happen, and I'll just come out there. So number one, there is this breath cycle. The Buddhists call this the beautiful breath cycle. So there is a start of inhale, there is an end of in-breath, there is a pause, there is a beginning of in out-breath, and there is an end of out-breath, and there is a pause. This beautiful cycle continues till right from our first breath till our last breath. When we are in meditation, when we are mindful of our breath, we appreciate the beautiful aspects of it. We get into that joyful state, and that is what when the teacher guides you through a meditation practice, says, feel the beautiful breath, feel the wonderful breath, right? This is what it is. And what happens as you breathe? What do you need to be mindful of? As I said, number one, the variations in breath cycle. So as per your previous slide, so your no two breaths are the same. Your in-breath is longer sometimes. Your out-breath is longer sometimes. You breathe in through your left nostril. Sometimes you breathe in through your right nostril. Sometimes you notice a gap. Sometimes you don't notice a gap. So everything keeps varying. So you can be mindful of the variations of the breath cycle. Number two, what happens in your body? As you breathe in, as you breathe out, there is air flowing into your nose. It passes through your windpipe. There are movements in your chest. There are movements in your stomach. There are a lot of other sensations that happen in your body as you continue deeper into meditation, right? There are sensations in your body. There are energy flows happening in your body. And of course, there are physiological functions like your heart beating, blood circulation happening. So you can be mindful of each of these that are happening in your body. And of course, all of us are familiar. There are a lot of things that happen in our mind, right? So there is a sense of feeling, oh my God, this is very unpleasant. I don't know, I'm wrestling with my thoughts. It could be that sweat, it could be the heat in your room, it could be the cold in your room. It could be a thought, oh, this music is slow, the music is good, the music is bad, or the thoughts for the rest of the day. The mind keeps wandering. A lot of these hindrances, oh, I don't want to do meditation, I want to get out of it. Or, oh, wonderful, I have this wonderful feeling during meditation, I want it to continue for a long time. So the mind, the stories of the mind continue to happen as you breathe every moment. So you can be mindful of all of these, and that is why we keep saying, be mindful of the thoughts, be mindful of the sensations, be mindful of the feelings, but don't get carried away. Bring your attention back to your breath. Bring your attention back to your breath. right? So this is what happens as you breathe. And as we continue to practice breath mindfulness or breathfulness, you can be aware of any of these you can do any of these experiments during your meditation. And what happens as you become mindful of breathing? As you become mindful of breathing, our consciousness expands, our moments of consciousness expands. Earlier, we probably would have been focusing on our complete breath only for a few seconds, or maybe zero. Then it probably moves into 3 seconds and 6 seconds, you're mindful of your breath. But then over time, as you continue to practice, just like some of us who go to the gym, your muscles do not build in a day. You ought to be consistent in your practice of lifting weights and in your practice of physical exercise. Only then your fat decreases, your muscles build. Similarly, the more we are with our breath, our stress decreases, concentration increases, our calmness increases, our response to situations becomes better. So the moments of consciousness expands as we continue to be mindful of the breath. This has been a fantastic discovery of Gautam Buddha, and then been validated by several neuroscience researchers, and of course popularized by our beloved Brahmarshi Patriji. So that is about the mindfulness aspect of breath. You can play around with observing the different parts of the breath. And then again, as we say, just observe your breath cycle, observe the body movements, observe your thoughts. Do not analyze any of them. Oh my God, yesterday my breath cycle was short, today my breath cycle is long. Doesn't mean there is a problem. Yesterday I could feel my chest movements. Today I'm not able to feel my chest movements. Is that a problem? No. Analysis is what needed. Right? Just observe. Just observe what the breath does to your body. And there's a joy in just observing, witness. Lastly, I want to focus on the spiritual scientific aspects of breath, because meditation is always considered a spiritual practice that helps us in our evolution. So, number one, all of us know anytime we feel the emotion of anxiety, anger, joy, craving, excitement, depression, our breath changes. When you start becoming mindful of, conscious of your breath, our breath changes because of our emotions, because the way we think. You're going into a very tough meeting, you can feel your breath pattern, heart beating faster, right? If you're going to meet a loved one, you're breathing very relaxed. So your emotion has a big influence on your breathing. And that is what Gautam Buddha and Brahmarshi Patriji said. Now, they use the breath to control our emotions. You be conscious of your breath, then your emotions change. By being conscious of our breathing, we can influence our thought and feelings. Our internal organs such as heart and brain, as well as our bodily functions, digestion, immune system. What do we need more than this? I'm able to manage and control my emotions. I'm able to heal myself physically. I'm also able to kind of allow my body to function at its peak. Right? So breath, emotions have an impact on breath. Breath has an impact on emotions, and that is what we are trying to do with breath mindfulness meditation. And this is something that we all know. The sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system, I'm not going to cover deeply. So anytime you are conscious of your breathing, it activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for all the healing functions of your body. Your immune system, your digestive system, your cardiovascular system. So everything depends on that. So being conscious of the breath activates your relaxation response. I mean, that is why we advise people who are sick, who are not well, we advise them to just be focusing on the breath, not about meditation, just be aware of your breath. And I myself have tried it. That accelerates your healing. And all of us know the yogic science talks about the Annamaya, the Pranamaya Kosha, which is our energy body. We are all energy bodies with 72,000 nadis. And all of you know the chakra system, right? And then every emotional element creates a blockage in a corresponding nadi and a corresponding chakra. And when you are with the breath, there is enough science that proves when you are with the breath, as you are observing your energy flows, as you are observing your breath, the energy flows get regulated, the energy blocks get removed. The cosmic energy flows much faster, much deeper, right? So that is another energy view of what happens. This happens only when you're conscious of the breath. When you're not conscious of the breath, it creates blocks. And we all know breath calms our mind, right? We all have our stories running in our brains, in our minds, based on what we perceive, based on the feeling, whether it's a pleasant or unpleasant feeling that we have. So the mind has an impact on the physiology and on the emotional aspects of it. And there is enough science that proves conscious breathing allows your mind to calm. I mean, I think tomorrow or day after, there is going to be a session that talks about brain waves. What happens as you continue to be mindful of your breathing? Your brain slows down. Right? And the breath is a perfect anchor for the wandering mind. And great masters from Gautam Buddha to modern day masters like Brahmarshi Patriji and Eckhart Tolle have found breath brings you into the present moment. The only thing that anchors you in the present moment is the breath. Being aware of your breath forces you into the present moment. Whenever we are conscious of the breath, because the breath doesn't have a past, we don't worry about the breath that we had 2 seconds ago or the breath we are going to breathe. The breath always anchors you into the present moment. And then you'll notice when you are aware of your breathing, you cannot think. When you are aware of your thinking, you are not aware of your breathing. So conscious breathing stops your mind. I just mentioned breath calms your mind, right? And then every breath, there are millions of breaths we breathe during our life. Similarly, there are millions of present moments. The life well lived is how conscious or how many millions of present moments you've really lived. That means how many millions of breaths that you've been conscious of, right? So that's what this whole science of Anapanasati teaches us. And lastly, the Anapanasati Sutras, the last 4 verses of the Anapanasati Sutras talk about some of these insights, right, about being the present moment. And one of the key teachings of Buddhism is about impermanence. And I told you, when you breathe, right, everything is impermanent. Your inhale and exhale, it's different, right? Changes every breath. The way you breathe changes. Your sensations changes. Your thoughts changes. Your feelings changes. No 2 breaths give you the same experience, right? That itself teaches impermanence. You don't hold on to 2 seconds ago or 2 minutes ago, my breath was good. I felt well. We don't think like that, right? So breath changes every moment. The body changes every moment. Your mind changes every moment. The response, your experiences to breath, body, and mind changes every moment. So breath is the biggest teacher of impermanence. Breath is the biggest teacher of letting go, not getting attached to things, not getting attached to people, right? So that's what Brahmarshi Patriji always teaches us. Breath is your guru. It teaches how to manage your inner state. Breath teaches how to heal yourself by allowing your nervous system to do its job. Breath teaches you to have your heart and brain coherent. Breath heals through consciousness. Being with your breath allows your pranic body to have all the health. And breath, of course, changes your psychological state. And once your mind gets calmer, you are connected to your inner intelligence. You are connected to your intuition. That is what is the goal of all spiritual practices. It allows us to be our true selves. And lastly, I like this saying from Patriji: when you are awake to every breath, you are awake to life. As I just said, life is nothing but millions of present moments. And millions of present moments are nothing but millions of breaths. When you are awake to every breath, you are awake to every moment. The more you are awake to breath, more you are conscious of your life, more you can do miracles and the magic. So there's a lot of things on breath, as you see, though breath is the most uninteresting thing that we feel. It doesn't have taste, it doesn't have smell, it doesn't have sound, right? It doesn't have the colors that the sight has. But breath is that mundane thing that allows life going. And just being with the breath, magic can happen. And that is, I think, the whole goal of this 21 days. The 21-day practice will allow you to be awake to your life, awake to every moment of your life. How do you do that? by being with the breath. Very simple. No mantras, no chanting, no esoteric science behind it. And just being with our breath allows you to do that. All the wisdom sessions are lined up primarily to make your mind believe being with the breath is as important as it is. So with that, thank you, dear friends. I hope it was helpful. If there are any questions I can take up, or we can do it later as well. So Divya, I hope I did well on time. I didn't delay, maybe.
It's perfect, sir. Thank you so much. Sir, we have two things after this. Do you want to go with the Q&A first, or do you want to go with the experience sharing? We have a master from Dallas who will be sharing the experience, sir.
No, it's up to you. So you can carry on with your normal flow.
Yes, sir. We would like to go with the experience sharing, sir. His name is Ram Prasad Emejala. Sirisha, can you please spotlight on him? Yes. So I'm going to introduce him, sir, briefly. So Ram Prasad Emejala is an IT professional who works for MNC in Dallas, USA. He's a spiritual seeker and also a spiritual scientist. With his spiritual mindset, he has tried and experimented with so many different meditation techniques from various masters across the world. But since the year 2019, he has been practicing breath meditation, also known as Anapanasati meditation, and he has found this technique very simple yet very powerful. From the past few years, he has become a great fan of pyramid philosophy and Patriji's teaching. Ram Prasad, along with his wife Chandrika, also runs a meditation center in Dallas, and he offers many free meditation sessions. Let's hear more about his personal spiritual journey from his own words. Let's all welcome Ram Prasad Garu. Welcome, Ram Garu.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good evening, good morning to everyone. And my pranams to all the masters who have made this, the entire meditation family, such a great meditation, experience for everyone. And my koti pranams to Patriji. And before I start, again, as Divya rightly mentioned, I started from 2019, but as she said, I was scientific seeker. It means that generally in India, when you start, you're told to be more scientific, question everything, test everything out and stuff like that. So I was spiritual seeker, but I always wanted to get that scientific outcome out of everything that you do. So we experimented with Reiki, we experimented with heartful meditation, so to say, other types of meditation forms. 2019 is where I got introduced to Anapanasati through my in-laws. They were practicing it. They basically, I got to see the first time the pyramid in their home, and that's when it triggered me. The form of meditation was very, very simple, yet there was a scientific aspect to it. And as Sagar rightly said, right, this spiritual scientific part of the entire breath meditation, which basically attracted me. Again, one thing I realized very quickly, right, spiritual path and the scientific path, they both collude at some point in time. And I learned it very through my own experience. Let me share that experience and I'll tell you what I mean by that. It's around 2020. We bought a new home and we were looking to, put the entire furniture at home, but we wanted to buy all the Indian furniture. In Dallas, we didn't have much options there. So we went online. We found one guy in Udaipur who would make this entire thing and ship it back to us. So we spoke to them. He said, yeah, why not? 3 months, the whole thing would be in your home. Don't even worry. And we paid him the money. 3 months passed by, no news, no phone, nothing from him. Right. So I called back up and he's like, oh, my factory had some problem. It's a COVID situation. So people are not there and blah, blah, blah. Give me 2 more months. Okay, 2 more months. Call back again. No, I just got married and I'm still not able to give it to you. Give me 3 more months. We were like, something is wrong because this guy has taken the money and keeps giving me more and more excuses. So we tried looking at his internet and the profiling and all that. That's when we started triggering, and then we went to the website where we ordered, the India Mart or wherever. They said there's no guy like that in our website. Whom did you order it from? We were like, oh my God, what the heck? So we were like, we paid about $2,500. It's not like, almost 2 lakhs to him. We were scratching our head. The question is, if I was not into breath meditation, I know what would I have reacted like, because I was, it's always outside, right? Anger, frustration. How can it happen to me? Then you go into, start figuring out somebody to blame. You call up, you phone, call up that guy. Naturally, he's not picking up the call, but you would do whatever to take your anger, anxiety, frustration out into that guy. But then me and my wife, we were like, at that time, we just started our meditation process. And we said, you know what? Let's sit together, find out why it happened to us. There has to be a reason for this. And it cannot be that, we just got fooled by somebody. So we sat into meditation and a vision comes in. Basically, again, I don't know how many lives before or whatever, right? So me and my wife both were rich merchants living in a place many years back. And then when one guy in the village, he finds another, what do you call it, a trader who comes into the village to sell something. And this guy says, is there somebody who will buy in your village? And this guy brings it to me and my wife. We believe the other guy who does it, and we check whatever he has to show as a sample. We give him the money, and then we realize we were doomed by the other guy. They took the money, but the items are all fake. It's not what we expected. Now, because I was powerful enough, I started blaming the guy who introduced me. He was a poor guy, but I made sure that I could recover and make sure, to recover all the money and to take him to, at that time, jail or whatever be the case, because he introduced me to other guy. Without thinking that, hey, this guy introduced me, I was the one who validated it. I was the one who paid it. But I was like, no, it cannot be me. It is this guy, right? And I realized this guy is the same guy who did it in Udaipur. So now this guy, I took the money from him, made him all the bad things for him. I made his life ruined, put him in jail and all that. And this guy is the same guy who's in Udaipur. Now, question I was, okay, then if I was such a bad guy to take the money and put him in jail, why did I let go with a small, meager amount compared to what we enjoy here, whatever? Why did I get let go so easily? I mean, if it was karma to karma, I should buy, right? But it did not happen eye to eye. It was a small, very small. When $2,500 in the grand scheme of things, okay, yeah, you will cry for maybe a month and then you let go, right? So again, I meditated. I was like, why did it let go so small? One thing, that's what Sagar used to say, right? Spiritual science there. It just triggered me. See, any experiment that you do outside of your body, you say, if you want to experiment something, you go to a test lab and you do experimentation. Anapanasati is a test lab for you inside your own body. Now, the karma, which I did many, many ages ago, was carrying with me for a while. But because it was a test lab and I accepted, I surrendered, and I said, it's okay. It happened to me because I did to him. My entire outcome was very, very small. Now, if I had not done this meditation, if I had not gone through this karma process, maybe I would have still paid for it, for the karma which I did. It may not have been the way it was for me. It could have been way, way different. So that was, as soon as I realized it, I was like, that is the whole part of spiritual and the science all adding up, because now I know that science is not something that you're looking outside in breath meditation. Science is something that you're experiencing on a day-to-day basis, and you are doing it inside your body. And believe me not, 2 days later, this guy calls me and says, I'm not a cheater. I wanted to give you all the money, but by the way, I'm having COVID. And all the money that you gave went for my medical bills. And I'm like, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Just take care of your life. I don't want your stuff anymore. Just deal with it. Right? So basically, both parted off with no regrets whatsoever. I mean, he regretted. He called me and told me I was wrong, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Let it go. So that experience, the one thing again, many people might get this question saying, hey, I started meditation and things are changed in my life. Sometimes it is for good, sometimes it is for bad. What I would say is, don't worry about those bad or good. Reason being, you have been given an opportunity to burn your old karmas or old wrongdoings or whatever in a test lab. So imagine, instead of doing a nuclear bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, if you do a Hiroshima test, nuclear test in a small lab, the effect of that is very, very small compared to what happened in the real life. So the breath meditation would take you to a spot where you are looking at your burning your old karmas in a very, I would say, in a meager way. But it helps you in reaching your spiritual journey faster as you take off your baggage away from you quicker and faster. That is where you are able to seek your spiritual journey. And one thing I realized again with this meditation is, more and more I do, more I realize about things that I did or not did. One thing is for sure, that I have an answer for everything in front of me. Something happens to me, something I'm reacting really vague, odd. Earlier, I would not have realized it, because I know there are cases where my anger has reached a peak where I am out of control. My wife and my kids will be really, really afraid of coming and talking to me. But for me now, I realize within like 10, 15 seconds, I know, you know what, it's just crossing my limits now. I need to stop. You need to stop and get back and then stay where you are. And that's happening because of breath meditation. But that's why I wanted to share for everyone. Okay, somebody is asking, how much meditation do you do? So again, right, for me, with the time that I have, there's no time for me. I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I do half an hour. Then I go to bed. Before going to bed, I'll do half an hour. It all depends. But thing is, I always try to stay with my breath every time I get time. When I say having calls, like in between the calls, I have 15 minutes. I'll just sit there, be with my breath, eyes, hand clap, legs crossed, and just stay with it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, Ram Prasad Garu. Thank you so much for taking time and coming here. Thank you so much. Sir, can we go with the Q&A now? Sagar sir?
Yes, please. But wonderful experience. I think all of us go through this. That's the wonder of meditation. It allows us to let go, allows us to get into the mode of forgiveness. Things that we consider big earlier seem small in the large scheme of life. A wonderful experience. Thank you, sir. Yeah, go ahead, Divya.
Yes, sir. I feel sleepy after meditation. Is it a good sign?
So, am I supposed to answer?
That's a question from the chat box, from the chat
Yeah,
today,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah, so that is normal. Depends on how long have you been meditating, right? It is a lot of, again, based on what we've seen, a lot of people go through meditation. If they didn't have the right sleep, they feel they want to get to sleep. They feel they get a very good sleep post meditation, right? So that is possible. But again, sleepy after meditation is not a abnormal sign. But again, it's a temporary thing. It will go away after you do it. But if you are able to sleep after meditation, please do so. Your sleep will be awesome.
Thank you, sir. One more question from Prashant. What's the best time to do meditation?
There isn't a specific time, at least according to Patriji, there isn't a specific time to do meditation. But according to a lot of science, again, Patriji wants everyone to meditate. It doesn't want to impose restrictions. But as I said, just like with the posture, the ideal time to meditate will be when your brain is ready to get into the alpha state, which is to get into relaxation. That will be in the morning as soon as you wake up, right? As soon as you wake up, when you're in a relaxed state, that will be the ideal time to meditate. Meditation in nature, when you are in nature. But otherwise, anytime you're able to allocate a minimum amount that is equal to your age, or minimum amount of 20 minutes, I would say, you can sit in meditation. Nothing to do, nothing to worry about whether there is a bad time. There's no bad time for meditation. So all times are good. And I think there was an earlier question on is it okay if I eat lightly? Yes. If you want to do it on empty stomach and if it is going to trouble your meditation, you can feel free to eat lightly. But again, not a heavy meal. Heavy meal allows us to doze off during meditation. So whatever is comfortable to you is fine. Whichever time is comfortable to you is good for breath mindfulness meditation.
Thank you, sir. One more question from Jaya. As soon as I sit in meditation, when I focus on breath, I get big yawnings and the eyes are running. But I'm not sleepy. What do I do now?
Yes, again, very common thing that we hear from a lot of meditators. So yes, that is because you are being conscious of your breath and your body needs more oxygen, right? Why do we yawn? When we yawn, when we open our mouth, we're trying to take in more oxygen, provide to your body, because your body is feeling sluggish, right? You need more oxygen for your body to feel energized. When we are tired, and sometimes when your body is not getting the right amount of oxygen to your normal breathing, this is what happens. But again, it's a temporary phenomenon. It is not abnormal. It might feel unpleasant and uncomfortable. Oh my God, I've been doing meditation. I keep yawning. So it is probably a bit uncomfortable. But then again, it is not permanent. So it will go away. And again, your eyes running or sometimes, there are a lot of all the experiences I'm sure will be covered or has covered. So sweating. So all these are physiological reactions that happen once you start becoming mindful of your breath. So nothing to worry.
Thank you, sir. Those are the questions we have for today. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. So thank you, everyone. And I only wish that for those of you who are new here, just give it the time for the next 21 days. And your physiology and your psychology and your spiritual progress will become better. That is the only thing that I can say, having seen thousands of meditation experiences and then also meeting a lot of people here in Pyramid Valley, Bangalore. So there is science behind it, though there is science behind the spiritual things that we all learn, which is what most of us want. So please do continue. Please be consistent. That will help a lot. And thank you very much. Thanks very much, Divya and Shibu and the entire team for having this program.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. We had a wonderful session, wonderful wisdom sharing, and also wonderful spiritual experience from Ramanagar today. I think the concept and the experience sharing went in hand. I think that will be more impactful for the audience today. Thank you once again. And we do have an end slide that we're going to share on the screen before we close the session. Today's quote by Patriji is, "No hurry, no worry, do not waste your time." So my dear friends, don't worry at all and no hurry. Sometimes when you start something new, just like meditation, we get into hurry mode. Oh, I'm doing so and so things. I'm not getting any experience. You start comparing yourself, especially after you're hearing experience from other masters, you compare yourself. So don't worry about all these and don't be in a hurry and do not waste your time. Thank you all. With this, we'll close the session, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you all. We'll see you all tomorrow with a wonderful topic and a master.
Recording.
Tanana tanana tom, janana janana tanana tanana janana janana tanana tanana tom tom, janana janana tanana tanana tom tom, janana janana tanana tanana गीत धुनी को तकधीम नात्र कीट तोम नाच रहे गोरी ताई 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 तुम फिर तुम गीत धुनी को तकधीम नात्र कीट तोम नाच रहे गोरी ताई 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 तुम फिर तुम गीत धुनी को तकधीम नात्र कीट तोम नाच रहे गोरी ताई 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 तुम फिर तुम गीत धुनी को तकधीम तान गावे तकतल तै तै तान गावे तकतल तै 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 तकतना धीम तकिड तकधीम धीम तकिड तकधीम धीम तकिड तकधीम हद तो हद गीत धुनी को तकधीम